Hello everyone. So in this lecture, I'm going to discuss the counting of functions or enumeration of functions. Okay. So let us begin with the enumeration of functions. Enumeration, or we can say that counting of functions. That is very important. We can say that various times we can say that questions has been asked from this particular topic. So that is very important. Enumeration of functions. Okay, so we'll see one by one what is enumeration of functions. First one, let us consider, yes, let's say this is set A, and next one, let's say this is set B, and let's say cardinality of set A is equals to M, and cardinality of set B is equals to N. The function f is from set A to set B, isn't it? Now, first point we can write down, yes, total number of functions from we can say that set A to we can say that set B, isn't it, is equals to what? Now you only tell me, let's say here in set A m number of elements are there, let's say 1 2 3 up to m, and in the set B let's say n number of elements are there, so let's say 1 2 3 up to n. Now you only tell me, yes, total functions will be how many? Yes, you only tell me. Yes, we can say that here, yes, every element we can say that, let's say first element has how many number of choices? N, isn't it? Out of these n elements which are in set B, one can be mapped with any element. So first element has n choices. Similarly, second has also n number of choices. Why? Because if one is mapped with 2, then 2 can also be mapped with 2. Same, yes or no? No problem at all. So we can say that every element inside the set A has m number of choices. So total combinations will be n into n into n. How many times? We can say that multiply n, yes, m number of times, so that becomes n raised to power m, isn't it? So we can say that total number of functions from set A to set B, where cardinality of set A is m and cardinality of set B is n, is equals to n raised to power m, isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone, because every element inside set A has n number of choices, so total m elements are there, so total combinations will be n raised to power n. I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay, let us take next point, that is second point is what? Total number of one-to-one functions. One-to-one functions, we can say that from set A to set B is equals to what? Now you only tell me, guys. Here one to one means we can say that here, let's say m number of elements are there, 1 to m, and here let's say n number of elements are there, let's say 1 2 3 up to n. So remember, guys, for one to one correspondence we can say that n must be greater than equals to m, isn't it? N must be greater than equals to m. Why? Because if set A contains, let's say, 4 elements and set B contains only 3 elements, then we can say that one to one correspondence is not possible. Why? Because if so, then we can say that if function is from set A to set B, then one element is unmapped, and that is not allowed inside the functions. In the functions, we can say that in the set A, every element must have an image inside the set B. Then only that is the valid function. Otherwise, it is not the valid function. So remember, we can say that for this particular condition, yes, total number of one-to-one functions. So for existence of one-to-one function, n must be greater than equals to m. That means number of elements inside the set B must be greater than equals to, yes, number of elements inside the set A. is equal to what? Yes, you only tell me. Let us consider one example. Let's say here one, two, three, three elements are there inside set A, and inside set B, let's say four elements are there A, B, C, D. So we can say that one to one mapping means we can say that three elements are required inside B. So out of four, how many required? We can say that three elements are required. So we can see, yes, total number of one-to-one functions will be, yes, NCM. Yes, select m number of elements out of n and multiply it by m factorial, isn't it? Now also it is npm, isn't it? So this problem becomes the problem of permutation. Yes, I will take one example, and with that example, I will clarify to you guys. Okay. So let me take one example. Let's say, yes, let's say set A contains three elements, 1, 2, 3, and set B contains, let's say, A, B, C, D, four elements. Let's say this is set B, and function is from set A to set B. Now you only tell me if function is from set A to set B, then you only tell me, guys. Yes, for one to one correspondence, we can say that yes, every element has, yes, we can say that every element has, we can say that one image, or we can say that every element of set B has unique pre-image as well, isn't it? So we can say that one to one correspondence means what? Yes, every element inside set A has unique image inside set B, and every element inside set B has unique pre-image inside set A, isn't it? Then we can say that that is one to one function. Now you only tell me select yes 3. Yes, let's say here m value is 3 and n value is 4. So select three elements out of 4, isn't it? So we can say that that can be selected in 4C3 ways, and 4C3 means what? 4. So combination of three elements of set B will be 4 only. So these will be, we can say that ABC, then ABD, then we can say that BCD, and next one we can say that that is ACD, isn't it? So we can say that here four combinations are there. So we can say that, let's say first combination, yes, let's say ABC, let's say that is selected. So we can say that, let's say this is set A 1, 2, 3. Now we selected, we can say that three elements. So we can say that we selected A, B, C, and D is unmapped. Now you only tell me, yes, we can say that here three elements are there. Here we selected three elements. Now three elements are there inside A and three in B. So we can say that for one to one correspondence, we can say that yes, we can permutate these combinations, or we can say that these functions or mappings in 3 factorial ways or not. Yes. For example, one function will be this one 1, 2, 3. Yes, is mapped with ABC. Yes or no? Next one we can say that 1, 2, 3 is mapped with BAC, isn't it? Next one we can say that 1, 2, 3 will be mapped with ACB. Yes or no? So like that we can say that 6 3 factorial, or we can say that 3 factorial means 6. We can say that 6 functions will be obtained from these particular combination. Similarly, we can say that 3 factorial will be obtained from here, 3 factorial will be obtained from here, 3 factorial will be obtained from here. So multiplied 4C3 with 3 factorial, these number of functions will be the one-to-one function, isn't it? Or we can say that yes, this problem becomes the problem of permutation. Let's say yes, we can say that three persons are there and four chairs are there. So in how many ways these three persons can sit on four chairs? So select any three chairs out of these four. Now three persons and three chairs are there. Then in how many ways these three persons can sit on three chairs? That is 3 factorial, isn't it? And also it can be written like that 4p3. 4p3 is same as 4c3 into 3 factorial. So this problem becomes the problem of permutation. I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay. Next one, write down third point. Yes, in third point you can see that the total number of Yes, many to one functions. Many to one functions from set A whose cardinality equals to M to a set B which has cardinality equals to N is equals to, yes, we can say that total number of functions n raised to power M minus number of one to one functions. So one to one functions will be NCM into M factorial, isn't it? Every function will be either one to one or many to one, isn't it? So we can say that that will be the, yes, correct answer. Or this can be written like that also, n raised to power M minus NPM. I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay. So that is the, yes, we can say that formula for the counting of many to one function. Next one, write down fourth one. That is, yes, number of onto functions. Number of onto functions from set A which has cardinality equals to M to set B which has cardinality equals to N is equals to summation k from 0 to n minus 1 raised to power k, yes, n c k into n minus k raised to power n. This formula is also very very important. Sometimes you can see various questions has been asked for, we can say that, related to this particular formula, or various times you see, yes, the counting of onto functions has been asked. Okay, so that is the formula for finding onto functions. And we can say that total minus, we can say that onto will be what, yes, total minus, we can say that onto total functions minus onto functions, yes, will be equals to into function. Why? Because every function is either onto or into. Yes or no? So out of total, we can say that if we subtract onto, then we will get into function. Isn't it? Okay. Next one, yes, last one. That is total number of bijections. Total number of, we can say that, bijections from set A to set B. Now you only tell me total number of bijections. So bijections means what? We can say that bijections means what? We can say that 1 1 as well as onto. Now you only tell me, yes, let's say this is set A and next one is set B. And let's say consider set A contains 3 elements and B contains 4 elements. Now if we try to make one to one function, then it is not onto. So for a function to be 1 1 as well as onto, we can say that cardinality of both the sets must be equal. Then only we can say that 1 1 onto function is, yes, possible. Otherwise it is not possible. Why? Because for onto, we can say that for onto function what is required, yes, this range must be equals to codomain, isn't it? That means for onto function every element inside set B must have, and pre, we can say that, must have a pre-image inside set A. Here D doesn't have any pre-image, that's why we can say that that is not onto function, isn't it? So we can say that for onto function, yes, cardinality of M, yes, here we can say that M is equal to N only. Then only bijections are possible. So yes, we can say that, yes, you only tell me. Now bijection is possible when both the M and N values are equal. Now you only tell me, let's say here 3 elements are there, and here also let's say 3 elements are there. So total functions will be how many? 1 1 on 2. Yes, we can say that that will be the permutation of these 3. Yes, we can assume these 3 elements as a persons, 3 persons, and these ABC as a 3 chairs. So we can say that these 3 persons can sit on 3 chairs in 3 factorial ways. So answer will be the 3 factorial only. Total number of permutations, that will be the 1 1 onto, that will be the bijection. Yes or no? So we can say that one combination will be 1 2 3 is mapped with ABC. Next one we can say that 1 2 3 is mapped with BAC and so on. So total 6 combinations will be there. So if cardinality of A and B is M or N, so we can say that here M is equals to N. So the formula will be what? M factorial, or it is equals to N factorial. Why? Why? Because M is equals to N. I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay. So remember guys, yes, be careful. I'm saying you, sometimes let's say, yes, let's say this is A, set A, this is set B, and let's say function is given from B to A, and cardinality of A is M, and cardinality of B is, let's say, N. Now you only tell me if these are the cardinalities, now total number of functions will be how many? M raised to power N. Remember, if function is B to A, then m raised to power n. If the function is a to b, then n raised to power m. Be careful. Otherwise, yes, it is possible that you can do some mistakes, isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay. So let us take some more types of, we can say that functions. Okay. So we'll see what are the, yes, some different types of functions. Okay. Let us consider next one, types of functions. First, let's say what is inverse function. What is inverse function? So we can say that, let's say for example, if a function is 1 1 and on 2, then only inverse function is possible. So let's say if a function is 1 to 1 and on 2, isn't it? That means bijective. From, we can say that, set A to set B, then only we can say that f inverse exists, and it is, and we can say that, and it carries elements of B back to A. What is the meaning of this one? Hence we can say that here f inverse B is equals to A when f of A equals to B. That means if image of A is B, then image of B becomes A, yes, in the inverse function. So let us take one example for that. Let's say given a function, let's say this function is given, set A contains three elements ABC, set B contains three elements 1 2 3, and function f is from set A to B. Now here we can say that f inverse is given by what? We can say that f inverse means just, yes, reverse the function, isn't it? Now here we can say that, yes, we can say that codomain becomes the domain and domain becomes the codomain, isn't it? Now you only tell me, yes, here three elements are there, A, B, C, and 1 2 3. Let's say here A was mapped with 2 and B is mapped with 1, C is mapped with 3. Now C will be, yes, now 3 will be mapped with C, and 2 will be mapped with A, and 1 will be mapped with B. So here we can say that here f of A was what? 2. So here f of 2 becomes what? Yes, we can say that A only in inverse function, isn't it? I hope this one is clear to everyone. Yes, why this function is required to be 1 to 1 and on to? Why? Because if it is not on to or 1 to 1, let's say here if it is into function, so one more element is present, let's say 4 is present. Now 4 is present, then you will reverse this function or inverse this function, then here in set B one element will remain unmapped, and that is not a valid function. That's why it is required to be, we can say that, onto function. And why it is required as 1 to 1? Yes, so let us take one more example. Let's say if it is not 1 to 1, it is ABC, and let's say it is 1 to 3. and let's say it is not one to one, isn't it? Let's say this is the function from set A to set B. Now in the inverse function, what will happen? Yes, that is the inverse function. So here we can say that all transitions will be reversed. So here we can say that one will be mapped with B as well as one will be mapped with A, and that is not allowed inside the function because every element must have unique image. So here one is mapped with more than one elements. So one has more than one images. So that is not allowed in the functions. So that is not a valid function. That's why we can say that it must be required one as well, isn't it? Then only we can say that inverse is possible. So let us take one example. Let's say, yes, procedure to find the inverse function. To find the inverse function. So we can say that, let's say, find the inverse of f of x, that is given as 3x plus 1. So f of x, that can be assumed as y equals to 3x plus 1. So what is the step 1? Step, we can say that write x in terms of y. So 3x is equals to y minus 1. So x is y minus 1 divided by 3. Then what is the step 2? Step 2 is what? If f of x is equals to y, then we can say that x equals to f inverse y. So here f inverse y is equals to x, that is equals to y minus 1 by 3. So we can say that that is f inverse. Now what we'll do in step 3? Replace, now we can say that y by x because we need f inverse x. So f inverse x will be what? We can say that replace y by x, so it becomes x minus 1 by 3, isn't it? So we can say that that is the inverse function. So we can say that if f of x equals to 3x plus 1, then we can say that f inverse x will be x minus 1 by 3. I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay. So that is the procedure, or you can see, you can take one example. You can do questions by putting some values also. So let's say if this is the function, so we can say that for x equals to 3, what will be the y value? So put 3 equals to, we can say that y value will be 9. So if we can say that here 3 will be mapped with 10. Now put 10 in the inverse function. So x equals to 10 minus 1 divided by, yes, we can say that 10 minus 1 divided by 3. So that will be what? 3 only. So here we can say that if we put x equals to 3, then the output will be the, yes, x equals to 10, then output will be the 3. So we can say that you can take any example. If 3 has image equals to 10 in the function f of x, then in the inverse function we can say that 10 will be having the image as 3. Just opposite. 3 is mapped with 10 in function, given function, then 10 will be mapped with 3 in the inverse function. So you can take any example. Let's say 4 options are given to you, isn't it? And one function is given to you, let's say f of x. Now take any x value and find out the image of that one. Now that image, yes, put that image inside the options one by one, and the we can say that whatever be the that image, if that give the element back to the function f, then we can say that that is the correct option, isn't it? So by taking some values, you can easily verify which one is correct, which one is not correct. I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay. Next, one more type is there. Let's say what is the meaning of symmetric function? Symmetric function, isn't it? So we can say that if function f and f inverse are equal, then we can say that f is said to be that to be symmetric function. For example, let us consider one function. Let's say 2, 3, 7, 8 element. These are the elements of set A, and let's say these are the elements of set B, 7, 8, 2, 3. Let's say 2 is mapped with 7. Let's say 2 is mapped with 7, 3 is mapped with 8, and 7 is mapped with 2, and 8 is mapped with 3. Now you can see, if you find the inverse, let's say this is set A, this is set B, then in the inverse function, just direction of all arrows will be opposite. So here we can say that 7 will be mapped with 2, 8 will be mapped with 3, 2 will be mapped with 7, and 3 will be mapped with 8, isn't it? So can we say that yes, both functions are same or not? Yes or no? Here we can say that in f function f, 2 is mapped with 7, 3 is mapped with 8, 7 is mapped with 2, and 8 is mapped with 3. So in inverse also we can say that yes, 7 is mapped with 2, 8 is mapped with 3, and 2 is mapped with 7, and 3 is mapped with 8. So here you can see both functions are exactly same. So we can call this function as a symmetric function, isn't it? So we can call this function as a symmetric function. And in the symmetric function we can say that yes, let's say yes, f equals to f inverse if and only if we can say that f of I is equals to I, then we can say that f is what? Symmetric function. Symmetric function, isn't it? Here let's say I value is, we can say that 2. So f of 2 will be what? You only tell me. F of 2 will be the 7, and that is equals to I or not? Here you only tell me yes, if f of I, isn't it, f of I is equals to I, then that function will be the symmetric. We can take one example. Let's see, f of I is equals to I, then we can say that then that function is symmetric function. Let's say consider one value, let's say 1, and let's say that is mapped with, let's say 2, isn't it? So we can say that f of 1 is 2 and f of 2 is 1, isn't it? So we can say here I value is 1, then f of 1 is 2, and f of 2 will be what? We can say that that is 1. So here we can say that this particular function is symmetric or not? Yes, that is symmetric, isn't it? So if this wherever it is given that f of I equals to I, then we can assume that that function is yes, symmetric function. Also remember, you can see here yes, for f equals to f inverse, the function must be 1 1 and on 2. So you can write down one note. Yes, every symmetric function is what? Every symmetric function is 1 1 as well as onto function. That means bijection. That means we can say that bijection. I hope this one is clear to everyone, isn't it? Okay. So these are some, we can say that functions we covered one by one, isn't it? So various types of functions we already covered, isn't it? So these are some more functions, isn't it? Nothing else. So simple questions will be there, isn't it? And we can say that from enumeration also, enumeration part or counting of functions, various questions, yes, you will be seeing, isn't it? Okay. So in next lecture, I am going to solve some good questions based on functions, isn't it? Okay. I hope this one is clear to everyone. Okay. Thank you so much.